When I started farming in 2019, I was on 3 acres of rented land. I didn't have access to water or electricity. I didn't have storage. I was washing and packing my produce in my parents' driveway. When I first started, so many people thought I was insane for what I was talking about and the vision I had for the food system in this area. It's about the community, it's about the land, it's about creating a system that's not exploitative.
She is so passionate about healthy food, about feeding the people around her, about educating people about the food system. And that feels like a Herculean task, you know, when you understand what the food system is like. It's like, how can you ever make any kind of difference at all?
The choice to choose agriculture is a very, very honorable one. This is a very unforgiving line of work. This is a very underappreciated line of work.
There's not a lot of grants for farmers like me. There's no subsidies for farmers like me. So just having all that risk all the time was something that it was burning me out. I was living under the poverty line. I didn't have health insurance. After several years of that and finally hiring a crew in 2021, I was able to grow my CSA to 150 people. Field crops, microgreen production. We also run a food hub and creating an environment for crew members to come and feel safe and work and learn how to grow food. Okay, let's unload. People are eating such processed food that they're not getting the nutrients that they need. So that creates health issues long term for our country. And so what I'm doing feels more like preventative medicine.
I had kind of asked her, you know, what is your vision? What's something that you would like to see happen on your farm? One of the first things that she said was she would love to see locally produced organic food get into schools.
We're the first farm in Iowa to process local veggies and distribute it to schools. It's really important to get this food into schools because a lot of the food they're eating is coming from industrial farming, like confined animal operations, and food that is not healthy for the environment or for them.
A lot of times, for a lot of lower income communities, some of their main meals are coming out of their schools. So knowing that it's not just another boxed, mass-produced, processed something or other, that's a reassurance for us as farmers, just seeing everything we're working for, getting to the people who need it the most.
I like to say that we're the queerest farm in the state. We don't hire people because they're queer, but we create an environment where queer people are like interested in working for this farm because they know that they're going to be able to be completely themselves in a workplace.
When it comes to existing as a queer person in a predominantly non-queer space, I think one thing that we all really appreciate about the way she operates on the farm is being unapologetically yourself. So much of the fun comes when you're able to commiserate with those around you about how drudging the work can be, knowing that you're all out there working in the heat of the day, doing some of the hardest tasks with, again, not always the best resources, but to be able to make light of it and joke around and still feel wholly safe in that kind of space, that's hard to come by, especially in a working environment.
Being organic is what's the most important thing. Supporting local is always the most important thing you can do. Always supporting local. A food hub is an organization where we're trying to get local food from farmers, whether that's meat, dairy, eggs, produce, whatever it is, and getting it to stores and institutions around the state that would otherwise not have access to be able to find those local products.
We sell eggs to CSA families in Corbin's vegetable CSA. But she is providing another local product to them and marketing for us, and which has been a huge help for our farm.
Because we are so under-supported by the government, that we have to work together. We have to be collaborative. We have to share resources. If we could get more people on board, and if we can get the government to support farming in this way, then things would be very different. The landscape would be very different. Communities would look very different. And building community is way more than just people being together and working together. It's like we're uplifting the people who have it the worst. We need to be taking care of everybody. So here's Fin and Feather. Outdoor store. One of our CSA members owns it.
CSA stands for Community Supported Agriculture. So everyone that's arriving here to pick up has paid for their summer CSA.
Once big summer comes, the abundance happens. We're still pretty early, and our lettuce is all done already. It's like too hot to grow lettuce now. We're so behind, and this is why, and we're doing our best to catch up. And that's also the part of the CSA, is sharing the risk, sharing the risk of the hardest job. And people seem to be excited about it. Good, how are you? Yeah, we're ready, go ahead. Yeah, so you'll start right behind her there. Oh, good, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. Thanks for saying that. Hi, Brad.
Hello, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing well, thank you.
You get 6 summer squash. You guys pick them. 6 of them?
How's it going? There you go. Thanks so much. See you next week.
We live in Iowa. As you probably know, Iowa is the #1 corn producer for the country.
We have the most altered state in the country of our landscape. We have less than 1% of native prairies left, and that used to be the majority of our state. And this is why we have issues with flooding, because those were natural water collection and filtration systems.
Iowa used to have some of the most fertile soil on earth, and we've depleted that.
The beginning of the food system in our country started with Native Americans, and a lot of the regenerative practices that we talk about today, agroforestry, terraces, intercropping, like all of those things are indigenous practices. If we're sustaining where we're at, it's still depleted. We're like sustaining a depleted system.
There's so many impactful things that Corbin's done, not only in her own business as far as the farm that she's trying to build and create, but the impact that she's had on Iowa City community specifically does a lot to try and bring farms together, to work together.
This is what we're choosing to do. You take your whatever tiny corner of the world that you have to work with and try to do the best you can. And that's, I feel like, what she's doing. And the best that you can to her means everything, like the quality of the food, the way you're caring for the soil and the environment, the way you treat the people working with you and for you, how you're caring for the people you're feeding.
How can we create a world or a community that makes sense? Like, our kids should not be eating processed foods in schools. That's why there's a mental health crisis, right? That's why their kids are so sick and overweight, right? Especially in the Midwest. I've learned enough to know how scary the food system is, and how the food system is the core of a lot of other systemic issues in our country. And if I can be someone on the ground level battling for what I feel is right and just and ethical in our country, then that's who I want to be. What can we do to be working together? Because we can do our best work, and the most change will come from working together. And it's always going to be that.